Okay, hello. So now we're going to fill your pasties, okay? So we've made the flaky pastry and I hope it's okay. I can still see the butter spread throughout, so I'm hoping that that's good. So what I have done so far, and you might need to pause it to go back and do it, is I've diced my onions and I've fried them, okay? I fried them off to release some flavour, and I think that they're nicer when they're cooked and in the pasties. Okay, I have my cheese grated, but you might already have grated cheese. And what I've done is I've rolled out my pastry, okay? So I've rolled it out not too thin, but kind of thin enough, okay? Because you want it to be able to cook, but you don't want it to be so thin that it will break, okay? So maybe around like the thickness of a 50p coin or something. Okay, so I've rolled it out and I've got on a plate. Okay, I'll put my knife down. Safety, just one of the small plates, saucer. Well, it's a bit bigger than a saucer, okay, but one of your small plates. And I've put it down, and I made sure that my pastry would do 2 pasties. Okay, so I've rolled it out, so we'll do 2 pasties. So I've put it down, and I'm going to do the second one. Okay, so I've put it down on it and I've cut around it. So this is the first one. Okay, this is the first one that I've done. And I'm going to do the second one. Okay, so make sure you roll it out and you test to see if it will go over it. Actually, I'm just going to roll a small bit more this way. Now it should be fine. Okay, so I've put it on top of a chopping board to protect the table. Okay, I don't want to chop my table, I don't want to cut through onto my table. Okay, so plate down, and with your knife carefully go around your plate. Don't push the plate down, because if you do, then the pastry is just going to get stuck to the plate and it's going to be hard to take off. Okay, so you're just going all the way around. So when you fried your onions, just leave them a while to cool down, okay, because you want to put something hot onto your pastry. Otherwise, there's a bit of remainder, so you can do something with it. You might be able to make a third one. You can make something sweet with it if you wanted. Put something in the middle, or put a different sort of filling in it. Another savoury filling. Okay, so see there I have my second pasty shape. Oh, want to be careful. Okay, now so as I was saying, let your onions cool down a little, because if you put it onto your pastry, it's just going to start to melt it, and we don't want that to happen, because you won't get your layers then, and that's all this flaky pastry is about, is your layers. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that mine's cooled down a bit is you're not going to push, I want to really move this forward, okay? You're not going to push your cheese and onion or whatever filling you're putting into it right in the center, okay? I don't want it to go right in the center, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be folding it over. Okay, I feel like it's losing the shape of it, but you're going to be folding it over, which means that one side has to have the filling. Okay, so one side, you're only putting the filling on one side, but you don't want to put it out to the very edge, because otherwise it's going to fall out. Okay, so you're putting your filling, so I'm going to put some onions onto one side of it only. And then again some cheese. Okay, oh, I have some grated cheese here. Now you don't want to overfill it. Make sure there's enough in it. You don't want to be having something that's empty, okay? So make sure there's enough in it, but don't overfill it. Otherwise it's just going to burst out. Okay, so that should be okay. Now, you're going to fold over the other side, so make sure all your filling is in. You don't want it to come out. Okay, so you're going to fold it over so it meets at the side. Okay, now, with a knife, no, not with a knife, it's the exact opposite, with a fork, you're going to go around the edge. Now, this helps to, first of all, to lock the pastry together, but it also helps for the flakiness to come out, to come up, and it helps also for decoration. Okay, so mine's becoming a bit sticky, but okay, you don't need to put it in as deep as I'm going. Okay, so when you put it into the oven, it's going to puff up and you're going to have a nice design. And then I'm trying to do it so you can see it. Okay, so you have the fork indent there, and then with your knife you want to put 2 slits in the top of it to let the air through, so that it will cook the pastry on the inside as well, and it will cook the cheese. And your onions are already cooked, but it just makes sure that they are hot enough, okay? It will melt the cheese, so it should be really nice. Okay, so if you are not going to cook it straight away, they need to go either into the fridge or into the freezer, depending on when you're going to cook them. And then if you put them into the freezer, then cook them straight from frozen, okay? So you want to cook it about 200 degrees or 180 degrees. If you have a fan oven, okay, then they could take about 15-20 minutes. Check them after 15, but they could take 20, depending on how on the efficiency of your oven. Okay, so that's that one done. You do the exact same with the next one. Okay, so you put your onions in. Remember your onion in only on one side. Put your cheese only on one side, and you fold it over, and then with your fork you go the indents, and then with your knife you do the 2 slits at the top, and you're done. Into the oven. You can do some egg wash or glaze some egg or glaze some milk on top if you want, and that will give it a golden brown color. Okay, so that will help to give it a golden brown color, but that's up to you. Okay, so happy baking.